All right, welcome back. Welcome back. So let's talk about Israel. Let's talk about Israel. No one is safe. Israel, Davido'S Aide. Um, like I set up this show earlier on, and I was like, oh, before I came back, I was like, oh, there's more. They're doing basketballs on the internet. Okay, maybe we can learn one or two things from this today. That's our headlines. So, but this was trending today along with Davido. So let's talk about it. I'm literally going to pull up some of the statements that this her name, what's her name? His name is Israel. Let me see. I'll pull up her name in a second. And basically he got married in 2020, 21, 22. I'm not sure, but anyway, that marriage is over right now, and they're dragging each other. Okay, they're dragging each other on the internet. On Instablog Niger. Shout out to Instablog Niger for the work they do over there, because content is contenting. All right. So let's see. The first thing I saw earlier on today, about 17 hours ago, is this post here. It says, "You deceived me into marrying you legally in order to gain popularity." This is Israel saying this. Okay, this is Israel saying this to his estranged wife. Okay, who's Israel? Davido is probably one of the top 3 most popular Nigerian Afrobeat artists. Anita's ex-boyfriend. Tell Anita, may she come to go far away, far away, far away. This time it's not Davido. It's Davido'S Aide, and that's the guy you're looking at on the screen. And there was a big old wedding, and shortly thereafter, he basically everything done pafuka. And even recently, he tried to like come on the internet and say, "You're the best thing that happened to me," and the wife was like, "You and who? Your father?" On the internet, for that matter.
Your daddy. Your daddy.
Yeah. Listen, there's a lot of clowns out there, but this is just showcasing what is really happening with a lot of people's relationships. It's just that majority of us, of course, we're not going to jump on the internet and start dragging each other, but we drag each other privately. Okay, when you find yourself in a funk, siblings, brothers, sisters, cousins, you drag each other. It might be more privately, but you drag each other. These guys are just showcasing what we already know happens in all of our dysfunctional families. Okay, Ola, speak for yourself. My family is not dysfunctional. Okay, if you say so.
You're right.
All right, so let me read. I'm going to read the first post I saw from about 19 hours ago. He said, "Marrying a lady because you met her during evangelism as a virgin." Virgin people don't collect already before we start. What did virgin people do now? That's why you married her, because she was a virgin? Jesus. Already. Okay. Marrying a lady because you met her during evangelism as a virgin, a pastor's daughter, a member of your same Winners Chapel church, might not guarantee anything peace at all. All right, so this is why I send common sense into the poto every single time. This is why I do it. Now, you and I will agree that it's common sense that a virgin, pastor's daughter, what's the other one? Winners Chapel member, right? It's supposed to mean, right? It's supposed to mean long life, happy married life, lasting marriage. How do I know? Because people tell you all the time, like, marry a child of God if you don't want to hate yourself. All right, so the problem with that is not that it's not if you marry a child of God. It's like, what do you mean by child of God first? First of all, what do you mean by a child of God? Right? Explain, elaborate, right? Wait, so you're being disingenuous. You don't know what child of God means? Listen, for every single one of these points, okay? Virgin 1, pastor's daughter 2, a member of Winners chapter 3, and what? Oh, 3, okay. So let me give him 2 more. 2, just
Sorry, yo.
oh no, 2 more. 2 more.
Sorry, yo.
Alright, so sorry. That I don't know why. He said it like he said something profound. Right? This level of common sense, everybody has it. Okay? A virgin, a pastor's daughter, a member, not even at least a child of God. Can we include a child of God in that at least? Right? At least. Right? Because just because a person is a virgin doesn't mean they're a child of God. Just because they're a pastor's daughter does not mean they're a child of God. Right? Just because they go to Winners doesn't mean they're a child of God. But even a child of God, don't let me deceive you. Me, I will still ask you, what do you mean by a child of God?
Sorry, yo.
What do you mean? Right? Don't pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about. You know them. Anyway, let's continue. He said, don't be too eager or quick to trust people. People can change at any time. This is Israel advising us. Israel is now a relationship marriage coach. Okay? It's now a relationship marriage coach. Can you imagine? He said, people can change anytime. People can be very ungrateful and deceptive. Those are 2 charges. 2 charges. I met Sheila. Her name is Sheila. February 19, 2022. Okay. He has to receive 1 more for that.
Sorry, yo.
I thought it was 2020. It's not even up to we're barely going past. Okay, he just went past 1 year. And then he wants to become a relationship coach. Baba?
Sorry, yo.
Okay, enough. Sorry. I misused that today. I met Sheila February 19, 2022. We became friends, which later became intimate. She told me she would only lose her virginity to the man that will marry her, since her UGEP. What's UGEP? Somebody help me. UGEP, that's UGEP. Cross River mother, who is now the mother. Oh, UGEP, is that a city? UGEP Cross River mother. Is that a city? Help me. Okay. Since her UGEP Cross River mother, who is now 41, the mother is now 41, who had earlier married 2 different men. Listen, I was going to take it easy on him, but
Sorry, yo.
Listen. So because she married 2 men earlier on, that you didn't know that before. Why are we bringing that up right now? Okay, I'll let you. Just let's listen. Let's listen to what he has to say. Okay, you're right. I will listen. Okay. All right. Okay, so since the Cross River mother, who is now 41, who had earlier married 2 different men with 2 kids before marrying her father, and that she was overdue at 21 for marriage, we fully agree with her terms and conditions. This ninja cannot even finish a full statement. What is going on here? Okay, let me read the statement for you if it makes sense to you again. Okay, I'm completely okay. She told me she would only lose her virginity to the man that would marry her, since her Cross River mother, who is now 41, who had earlier married 2 different men with 2 kids before marrying her father, and that she was overdue at 21 for marriage. Okay, all right. So she's 21. Mother is 41 now. 20. Okay, all right. Jesus, God help me. We fully agree with her terms and conditions. I immediately began a full upgrade of her unkept situations. You didn't know she was unkept, but you went there to go and captain save a what? Oh boy, this is funnier than I thought. I knew it was gonna be funny. I just knew it was gonna be funny, but I was like, this is gonna be fun. I immediately began a full upgrade of her unkept situation by firstly giving her 300k. 300,000 naira is how much now? $3,000? Yeah, I guess. And also replacing a tattered phone of less than 60k. A phone. He's making this clear. He's speaking Yoruba versus Cross River English at the same time. Okay. I replaced a tattered phone of less than 60,000 naira. Okay, so that's equivalent of what, like $60, right? Is that $60? Yeah, $60 to a brand new phone, iPhone 12 Pro Max of 860,000 naira, about $860 in less than 2 weeks. I later also replaced the 12 Pro Max to a brand 40 Pro Max of 1.2 million naira that she's currently using to slay. Hey. All right, so this guy was over there simping, and he's gonna come here and become a relationship coach, just like the rest of the Red Pill community.
Sorry, yo.
Continue.
Okay, before I continue, let me come to the chat because listen, this is what they do. Eventually, I might even start the channel, start advising the rest of the other simps. Please, why is he looking for a virgin? Is he a virgin? That's called whataboutism. Kill me. Is he what do you mean, is he a virgin? That's whataboutism now. Why are you asking that question? Is that a virgin now? Come on now. It's a Davido'S Aide, not a virgin. Captain Save 304. But I bet how far are you there? Can you defend your gender? Let's do it. You know, as long as the gender war is not toxic, we can tolerate a little small. All right. Let's continue. Okay, so he's replaced her phone twice from 60,000 naira to 860,000 naira to 1.2 million naira, and she's currently using it to slay. I did a lot of shoppings for her, bought her clothes and bags, including expensive human hairs. She's using without sleeping with her then. Oh, so you were buying all this stuff and you weren't sleeping with her. You are being ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call a Mr. Nice Guy.
Sorry, yo.
I told you they are the devil themselves, because they will come back and drag you. Woto. I told you. Nice guys will come back and drag you. It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. I'm not saying you don't have to run from nice guys, particularly Mr. Nice Guys. They are two different things. There's a nice guy and there's Mr. Nice Guy. Okay? When you see a Mr. Nice Guy, run. When you see a nice guy, get to know him. Get to know him, you know. But be careful, because nice guys too, you know, those ones that are the good man, the good one, the very good man, right? The one that will not abuse you. Not only they won't abuse you, they will make sure they remind you that I'm not an abuser. Get that one. Be careful, because he probably needs you to validate his feelings. You get it?
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it. All right.
Let's continue. Let me continue here. There's more to this than I thought. I didn't realize. Let's continue. All right. So I did a lot of shopping for her. Bought her clothes and bags, including expensive human hairs. she's using without sleeping with her then. I later proposed and she fully accepted. Okay. Now, the message here is not that you have to sleep with the person before you propose to them. Okay. But if you're going to talk about the 1.2 million naira later, it's better you make sure you sleep with them first. Okay. I know it's hard to see the future, but you know yourself. If you know you're going to resent the idea that this person can move on with their life in spite of the fact that you bought them a 1.2 million naira phone, if you know you will resent that, my guy, stop everything immediately. Just stop. Okay? Because you use your own hands to push her away. That's the way it's going to, that's literally how it's going to play out. You will use your own mouth, your neediness, your Holy Spiritness, your righteousness, all of that, right? You will use it to push her away. It's just the way it's going to happen. Okay? You don't believe me? Join the Manosphere and see the stories. Okay? All right. We later did a legally introduction, traditional and white weddings in Benin City. Yeah, the Benin people. Sheila immediately changed by showing her real self after our wedding by wanting to set standards for me because she now felt she was blown as Juju wife. What's Juju wife? That's like IU, right? Like small wife, right? I think that's what that means, right? I'm not sure. Fully verified on Instagram with more followers from her earlier struggling 3,000 followers when I met her. I have a struggling 26,000 followers on Instagram that are literally dead, no engagement. Okay, story for another day how they got there, but I promise it wasn't a situation where we bought them. Okay, but we have 200 on our Man of Prestige page, so if you haven't followed us over there, please, we have a struggling 200 followers on Instagram. Please make sure you follow us there, engage it. I will leave the link in the description to be a little bit more clearer. And I just noticed last week that we had a bad link, nobody told us, inside of Facebook as well. So it's Man of Prestige __. Okay. With more followers from our earlier struggling 3,000 followers when I met her, a fully Shakpa girl. What's Shakpa girl? Somebody help me. What is that? Right? A fully Shakpa. Is it Shakpa or Shakpa? Okay, Shakpa girl. Let's just continue, right? A fully Shakpa girl I met with just 2,700 in our account. 2,700 in our account. I've never raised not $2,700. It's either 2,700 followers or Naira, which is about $2 or $3. What of the two? In our account, I have never raised my hands on her any day. Wait, this is giving Tyrese already. I have never raised my hands on her ever before. Yeah.
Will you keep quiet?
He wants candy because he's never raised. Brotherly. I really want to help. I promise. I'm on your side. I promise. I am on your side. I promise. I really do promise I'm on your side. But this behaviors here.
Sorry, yo.
So Saps hungry girl. So Saps is hungry girl. Okay. And she's a gold digger. How? Local champion thinking himself Elon Musk. It's Davido'S Aide. Don't forget. It's Davido'S Aide now. That's a big deal. Private jets, PJs, all of that, right? But Ben, so Israel was wrong playing to the galaxy, but that doesn't exonerate the gold digger wife too. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Everybody go collect, right? But in this time, the only person that get to collect from me is the person doing the talking.
Sorry, yo.
Is the person doing the talking. And that's why they don't tend to like me, because they're looking for somebody to support their own side of the stories. And if you're doing talking, there's usually I can usually hear the loopholes in the in-betweens, the places where you could have improved. I can't hear the other person. But I think she's going to speak later on. Life not to say nickname is Juju. Okay, that's his nickname, Juju. Okay, he's Juju. Okay, I don't follow them enough, so let's see. All right, thank you for clearing that up. So Juju, I've never raised my hand. Juju says I've never raised my hands on her any day. I don't beat women at all. So maybe he's responding to being accused of doing that. So maybe that's what he's saying. I don't know yet, right? So maybe it's not a Tyrese. Because again, if somebody's not accusing you of that, why are you bringing that up, right? Is the only reason why you might bring that up is you think you deserve everything just because you haven't done that. No, that's wrong. That's usually a blind spot. Okay, I respect them so much. Yeah, women. I respect women so much. The least money for her upkeep was $100K. That's about $1,000. That's a lot of money, right? Clearly, she's saying, I don't want the 100K anymore. It's either she's a Olosho and she's followed a bigger man, someone at the level of Davido, or something is going on with that relationship. It's like, you know what? It's not worth your 100K. It's one of the two, right? It's either she said, no, I'm following bigger boys, right? Or she said, no. The emotional roller coaster in this situation, it's not worth 100K for me. I'll leave it alone. It's one of the two. We'll find out. At some point, they will tell us more. Okay. She now wakes up to tell me that I derive dignity in begging my Oga. That's what she said. But tell us the rest of the story. All right. And that I'm fully a slave, and that I am disgracing her on social media. So once upon a time, this woman wanted to marry you, even though she knew you were begging at the time, even though that's just what you do for a living. You are Davido'S Aide, which I don't consider begging, by the way. But somehow she used that same thing, the same one you used to wear that to come and shame you. There's something in between the story. How did we get from here to here? Let's be patient. Maybe you will tell us. All right. She now suddenly wakes up. No, that's a lie. Instantly, just for telling that lie right now. Like.
Sorry, yo.
Yeah, she didn't just wake up. Oh, how do you know you weren't there? No, okay, I'm talking in general. Usually, people don't wake up and just decide to turn their back on you. No, that's not how it works. That's a lie. That's just a lie, okay? All right, maybe you're oblivious to what was going on. Maybe you were so controlling you didn't pay attention to what was going on. Maybe. I didn't say that's what happened. Maybe, right? But we know for a fact that it's probably more likely that you weren't paying attention to the actual dynamics of that relationship. Yeah, fact. That's a fact. Okay, fact. Yeah. How can you say fact? You don't know. I said it. I said it. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going. She now wakes up to tell me that I derive dignity in begging my Oga, and that I'm fully a slave, and that I am disgracing her on social media. Because this is what he does. He prostrates for Davido. He's like, my Oga. He beefs like he's like a hype man. It's like a 24/7 hype man for Davido, right? Now, is it possible that there's a girl who's an ingrate, who's a gold digger, who will suddenly wake up? No, I'm not talking for both sides of my mouth. They exist, but they're very, very small. They're in minority. And at some point, gentlemen, I'm going to look at you like, how did you find yourself in that situation? Maybe because you were looking for a virgin, a pastor's daughter, and a Winners Chapel member, and your head, your small little brain, you think that makes up for a good wife. Maybe that. So it's always a man's fault. Yes, precisely. Let's keep going. I had earlier taken her to show same Oga for the first time before we wedded. When we were in Abuja Transcorp Hilton, an Oga asked her straightforward if she was ready for marriage, and she fully answered by saying yes. And Oga immediately gave her 500K for airtime. Oga was fully present in Benin for my wedding. Oga is Davido. Okay, after cancelling a 140 million naira show appearance. All right, so cancelling a 140 million naira show appearance, Oga had to even cough out another extra 30 million to get a jet, since his own was away in America for servicing. She finally moved out of my house August 8th to Abuja to meet her friend, Ginika. I had a friend in college called Ginika. I remember that Igbo name. A well-verified prostitute for fornication. Baba don't become fornicator detector. Wow. Oh Lord. But I bet as much as I don't like public talking, I still kind of agree with this. Me too, I agree. It's content. I agree 100% with his public outburst. Who am I? Me. I think it's right to have a public outburst. I don't know. I'm like that now.
You're right.
You're right. The wife is talking to go check legit Nigeria and leader AK. No. I have that. We'll get to it. I have that. I marked them down earlier. Both, absolutely. Both of them are weary. Yeah, absolutely. I saw that. Don't worry. We'll get to it. Wait. We're running out of time. Okay, let me run through it. We're running out of time already. I'm just having a good time with this. All right. So let me just read through. Okay. Since his own was away in America, okay, we already covered that. So she moved out in Abuja to meet her friend Ginika, a well-verified prostitute for fornication, after 4 attempts with flimsy excuses. All of this could be true, but it unfortunately points back to, Baba, you thought you were marrying a virgin, right? The only point of leverage is you. The only thing you can control is you, yourself. You can't control other human beings. You can influence them. It's no way an Olusho can end up in your life. If you know what value is in life, if you understand how value is and how it translates to romantic relationships in the modern times, it's not possible it's almost impossible. Let me say almost. I'll leave some room. Almost impossible that a controlling narcissist will end up with one of those, or you will end up with an Olosho. It's almost impossible. Okay, I leave a little small room because the unfortunate happens to some people sometimes. But if this world is about the unfortunate happening to majority, it will be a war zone. It's just not a war zone. It's not. Okay, a lot of time you're looking korokoro with your eyes and your sense of value is discombobulated, so you get with a person with terrible sense of value. Okay, the value in virginity is for her, not for you. Not in 2023. So if you're laser focused on that and that's your way of picking a wife, it's going to be hard. That's what he said himself. It's going to be hard for me to take you too seriously. Now, especially if you're not acting like we're both of you on the internet. To me, it sounds like maybe two way they meet each other. So far, let's continue. All right. So Ginika is a well-verified prostitute for fornication. After 4 attempts with flimsy excuses, her Calabar mother is the most wicked and heartless woman every man should avoid as a mother-in-law. If you don't collect shege from a woman, you will always, and if she has a mother that's defending her, you will always see that as a wicked woman. Okay.
Sorry, yo.
So it makes sense to me that you see it that way. It makes sense. She's a wicked woman, heartless woman. Okay. Why? Because she's now say, don't kill my child for me. Don't kill my child for me. I don't care what you did. There's nothing I didn't do to please this woman. Yeah. That shouldn't have been the focus. The way you move as a man should have been enough pleasing for her. If that wasn't enough, you shouldn't have done any extra. She's just not that mother-in-law. Right? A pure fake church deaconess and Sheila would always enter my Oga's DM to discredit me. She keeps showing everyone, did she want your Oga? She keeps showing everyone my Oga's chat that Oga doesn't like me at all. That Oga said he's even tired of me. Well, did Oga actually say that? Okay, it doesn't matter. Maybe Oga was just tired of her as a worker, as an employer, right? I was Fuki, the one that even introduced her to Oga. I guess I was the one that even introduced her to Oga. I was the one who told Oga to start following her back on IG. Look at what people are valuing. Just imagine what people assign value to. Just think about it right now, okay? I was the one who told Oga to start following her back on IG. People should be careful of Sheila and her parents. They are fully gold diggers. They fully extorted me. They want to look another highest bidder to sell their daughter to again. Sheila, on this day, you are fully cursed. This course is not getting anywhere. I'm sorry. This course is not going further than his mouth, okay? Gentlemen, you need to protect yourself. How do you protect yourself? Work on yourself so that you don't attract garbage. I'm choosing to believe you that she's garbage. Work on yourself so that you don't attract garbage. Okay? You can't blame that on garbage. If I choose to believe you right now, right? I've just chosen to believe you. If you attract garbage, you can't blame that on garbage. If you attract a pig, you cannot blame that on pig now. Your blood smell good to them. They come right? Okay, don't blame yourself, okay? Don't beat yourself too hard, but let me do it for you.
Sorry, yo.
No, but seriously, don't beat yourself too hard, okay? But what you attract who you are, okay? It's almost impossible for you to attract what you're not. Okay? It's just almost impossible. So that you don't come back less than 2 years later and come and be raining curses that will never work. Okay? He said, you shall never have peace in your entire lifetime. Any man who nears you is fully cursed. This man go take that, they will hunger, they will tag on that bekus. They can't wait. They don't care. You're wasting your energy. All of this energy should be going back to, how did I attract that? Any man who nears you is fully cursed. You fully deceived me into a legally oath of marriage just to get popularity. I immediately went into serious depression. Oh, my show. Thanks for Oga, who would always call to check up on me and make me laugh. So these are receipts. What do we know about them? Receipts. First bank receipts for 300K, 100K, right? I believe him. 400K I sent to Sheila's mother. This is to Sheila's mother in last October alone. She's never contented at all. No, if you're simping, it's never enough, bro. Okay?
Sorry, yo.
It's never enough. Okay? If there's no intrinsic value, it's never going to be enough. If the value is just money, it will never be enough. The mama don't collect your mama will collect. Ginika is my sister's name. Ginika Chuku. What is greater than God? Oh, wow. That's a beautiful name. That's a beautiful name. Awesome. Let's see here. So he's showing receipts. Okay. And since they're adults and they put it out there, let me just show it. I guess these are the parents. She's now 41. This is the mother. Baba don't for one chance. It's not one chance because he get to escape right now. He get to escape. He should be happy. Okay? He should be happy that he gets to escape. If he's right, if you're truly right, that these people were just looking, they're just a pig and all this kind of stuff, then you should be happy. Why are you not happy? Now tell me, Mungbo, why are you not happy? Because you're a simp.
Sorry, yo.
Because you lack game. All you had was money. That's why. All you had was money. Right? You had nothing else. There's no intrinsic value. You had no self-respect. That's why you attracted a person that probably lacked any self-respect. No my show. But let me continue here because believe it or not, there's more. There is more. Because she came out, bass woes. Passpose. More receipts. First schedule. Oh, they were beautiful. Oh, this is Beanie. This is a shout out to Auntie B. She's in Nigeria, enjoying Nigeria right now. Ah, such a beautiful. Oh. He thought it was happily ever after. Anyway, the comment I left on this one earlier was he's repeating the same thing that got him there, basically. Yeah. This outburst is literally him repeating the same thing. Okay? He's repeating the same thing. If you have self-respect, it's going to be a lot more harder to have a public outburst. It's just going to be harder. Because you have a lot more to lose in terms of dignity, self-respect, and all this stuff that you just like you wouldn't want to drag that because of a pig of a woman, right? Just doesn't make any sense, right? The only way to make sense is if you're a pig yourself. Then it's like, you know what? We go low, we go to hell. Right? That's the only way that would make sense. Was Israel not prostrated for his oga before she agreed to marry him? I hate this kind of woman. Of course you would, because majority of men are like this. This is why they keep attracting trash. Not only attracting trash, they're creating trash. Because it takes two to create a human being. They're creating trash. Of all people to marry for popularity, Israel, Lobato, another angle. Explaining her mother married 2 men with children before her father wasn't necessary at all. You know why it was necessary? Because he's a true pig himself. And I mean that proverbially. Let me use another language. He didn't have self-respect himself. That's why. Let me use that. Let me be respectful. Okay? Because Israel is one of my brothers, and I know many of them like that. They don't understand why these things keep happening to them. But brotherly, the woman get to create what you have. She multiplies it. It's just the way it works. Undefeatable life principle is just the way it works. So there's no like trash woman and bro, you're still missing the point. The fact that you're missing that point is the reason why you continue to create the same result. Just stop. Go back to school. Just be happy that based on your story, you've avoided a pig. Okay? Let's just thank our goodness. Right? Explaining her mother married, yeah, it wasn't necessary. It's just a demonstration of how you got here in the first place. And that's what I meant by he's basically repeating the same thing that got him there in the first place. All right. So anyway, he continued. There's another one here. Says Sheila's parents forced me to give them 1 million naira from the money sprayed at our wedding. All right, so there's a lot of drama around wedding typically, and yes, people do get greedy at the wedding parties in Nigeria and stuff. That's the reality. But look at them. This girl is so young. This girl seems very young. What is she? 20, 19? Oh, I feel for Israel, to be honest. When men have windfall of status, money, they often don't know what to do with themselves, especially. It just gets very nasty. But anyway, let me go ahead and read the rest of the stuff, okay? So we don't spend too long here, because once we're heading towards 2.5 hours, I start to dry up too. Okay, so the receipt of so he showed another receipt of 1 million naira, part of the money that was paid at the wedding. They forced him to give the money back. This has nothing to do with nothing. It's not relevant to the fact that you couldn't keep a home together. You can't even go past 1.5 years, you know. If what you're saying is true, that she's just a gold digger, it makes sense. However, how did you end up with a gold digger? Right? It makes sense that you couldn't last up to 2 years. Right? And if what you're saying is not true and you're just lying, it makes sense too that the marriage couldn't last. Either way, it's still the same thing, right? The same place, like Jazzy. That's why you can't really lie to me. If you lie to me, you're basically lying to yourself. If you lie to the public, you're lying to yourself, basically. Because your results will never lie. It's just what it is. Okay? Your results is the only truth that really exists. It becomes fact. It's no longer just your truth anymore. It's just fact at this point in time. So, and what that equals to is that you're confused. It's time to learn something new because the way you did it did not work. Okay? I'm not taking away from the fact that you are right. You're still right.
Well, you're right.
I'm not taking away from that. If you're right, she's a pig. How did you attract a pig? Because if you attract a pig, it wasn't going to last. And if you're lying, which I don't know because I think you're right. If you're lying, it's even worse. Right? It's not better. It's probably worse. Okay? So right now, all of this is, I know he has receipts and all. But it's not enough evidence.
Explain. Because no evidence.
It's not. There will never be enough evidence for the public. There will never be enough evidence for the public. The public is not your mate. Social media is not your mate. Small. Okay? Anyway, the ex-wife, estranged wife came out. Okay? And she had something to say. Shout out to Sheila and Israel. Israel is cooking a narrative to gather sympathy. He said, no, I'm not gathering sympathy. I need to tell people to avoid people like you. Israel.
Why the fuck you lying?
All right, he's not doing it intentionally. He's his feelings. He's caught up in his feelings. He doesn't need sympathy. He just needs to help other men, to protect other men. I'm sure there will be enough women too that will tag along and say, yes, these wicked women that do that are holier than thou. They know they won't last either. Okay, men, we need strong men. We need stronger men in our society. Men that can say, I feel, and not end up in a toxic argument. They can go about their way, they show off themselves, they can express themselves, because nobody is stopping anybody from expressing themselves. The only thing we're asking you to do in the context of all of this, you need to understand that you're expected to lead. You need to demonstrate that. What that means is that more responsibility in terms of managing the emotional energy in this context, especially when we're talking about romantic relationships. So yeah, we're going to give you some tough love sometimes, okay? And I understand if women want to sympathize with you, but that should tell you something. Are you that weak? You should ask yourself, I need woman sympathy before I can. Oh, it feels so good to have feminine, soft women who understand the plight. They will never understand your plight. They will dig a grave for you if you don't listen to what I'm saying right now. Get your shit together, okay? And understand that if you want to lead, you're expected to lead. That means more responsibility. That also means very high rewards. But you have to be patient. You can't get caught up in your feelings, especially the result of your feelings short term. You can't do that. You can't afford it. It's not set up. This whole thing is not set up that way. Okay? It's just not set up that way. I'm sorry. You need someone to cry to, find a few brothers. Find your brothers. Cry on the shoulder of your brothers. Talk to them, right? So this is what kind of world is this coming that we can't... No, you can share your feelings. You should manage your expectations around that. That's all we're telling you. Okay? That's all we're telling you. Anyway, Sheila came back. Sheila said, I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit here. If I go to the hospital just to drop my blood sample without him, he would come to my office, pick me up and insult me to and fro. Brother Ben, did you read this part? Brother Ben, where are thou? Did you read this part? The first line is all I need to read. Ola, why are you believing the woman? Remember I said I believe him. Don't forget that part. Okay? If you ask me that question again, okay, why are you believing the woman first?
Sorry.
If you ask me that question again, don't ask me that question again, okay? I believe both of them, but I'm going to address both of them that are talking, okay? All right, let's keep going. If I go to the hospital just to drop my blood sample without him, he would come to my office, pick me up, and insult me to and fro. Results were out, and my result came out okay. I only had a high level. Something that generates milk, I think. But the doctor said that was okay and gave supplements to be taken. His was out after he made a whole show and dragged during the test. Messed up the first result and all till I insisted that I must be at the hospital with him when I haven't seen the rest of this story. I'm just reading from. Let me see. Is there more to this? Maybe I started later. Let me see. Okay, all right. I started in the middle. I started in the middle. All right, so let me start from the beginning. Unfortunately, we have to go over time today, okay? Sorry. Sheila Courage, okay? She said I was going to keep my reserve on this, but as it is, I see no reason to. Wait. Of course, Israel is here and say, pure lies, 100%. It's right there in the chat. Say pure lies. Natu said, my pastor said, if you say your partner is bad, it says something about you. Yeah, it says something at least. At least something. Okay, I agree 100% with that. Anyway, let's continue reading this. The wife had something to say. He has something to say. I'm not judging. I'm just reading what they're saying with their own mouth. So bear with me. She said I was going to keep my reserve on this, but it is, as it is, I see no reason to. There's always a reason to keep your reserve. There's always a reason to have enough self-esteem, and you're not just moving like a puppet just because somebody else is moving mad. Now, granted, if you're a normal human being, sometimes you're triggered and sometimes you overreact. Or you react. Some people are triggered by saying overreact. You react. Okay? Your reactions are your responsibilities. They're your actions you're responsible for. You don't get to blame your reaction on other people. Yeah, this is the real world. Welcome to the real world. They're all yours. You get to own it. Even if you decide not to own it, it's still yours. Okay? Did I see signs before the wedding? Yes, I did. That's accountability of some sort. Small, tiny bit. Okay? One of the reasons was because of the rush of the wedding. Even after I said we should give it time, he came up with a lot of excuses and threats. Israeli. This is why I said I don't need both sides.
Sorry.
For her to.
Sorry.
It's not an excuse that you allowed somebody else to rush you. Okay? It's not an excuse. Okay? Okay. It's just not an excuse. I'm sorry. All right. So, a reason. We're taking it as a reason. Your excuses are legit. Okay? But hopefully you learn from this. Okay? But anyway. One of the reasons was because of the rush of the wedding. Even after I said we should give it time, he came up with a lot of excuses and threats. I wonder what those threats look like. I don't have time, but a lot of girls want me. We are traveling to Atlanta tomorrow. We're going to be on a private jet all the way to the Maldives tomorrow. And all this guy, I'm a speckle. I'm in my prime. You want to marry me or you don't want to marry me? I don't have time. If a woman marries you under that kind of pressure, what do you expect? Okay. Most of the things he did regarding the wedding was without my consent. If it was a problem back then, you should have said something. Down to invitation card. I didn't even get to see what the design looked like before it was printed. All right, so people with money tend to do things like this. They might do things like that. They don't really see any bad in it. They just think they're covered, like you're my woman. I'll take care of you. But when you do that, make sure you back it up with emotional support, emotional intelligence. Make sure, because it can backfire. I know because I can relate with this story small. You have everything. She doesn't need to worry about anything. Okay? Gotta be careful with that. You need everyone to be involved. If you are learning this before you make that move, you need everyone involved. People want to donate. Say, what do you want me to bring? Tell anything you want to bring. You want to help us with this? What kind of budget are you talking about? Let everybody involve it. Like that's all that macho stuff because you got all that money. You will just resent yourself later on. Okay? Now, some people are not privileged to know better until time. I was one of them, okay? But thank God I have a second chance at life. Let's continue. Most of the things he did regarding the wedding was without my consent, down to invitation card. I didn't even I only get to find out about stuff after it's been paid for. We had a fight that I told him that it seems it's his event planner he wants to marry. Israel did not tell us all of this. But Ben, I'm at jail. Because I don't see your comment right now. I don't see your comments right now. Okay? Do you think she's making this up now? I doubt it. Okay? I can't say she's making it up since I don't think he made his own up, right? I can't do that. So it's his event planner he wants to marry because they're not carrying me along. Proceeding to the wedding, there was a huge turn up. Of course, Davido was there. Oga was there. It was elaborate. Was that what I even wanted? No, you should have said you didn't want that at the time. Okay? You should have said at that time you didn't want that. But I get it. It's overwhelming. You're a woman. You know, it's like you're gauging it. You're like, you know, this is your how do you call it? Your Prince Charming. You know, came to sweep you off your feet. He covers everything. So if anything, it's probably a confusing feeling at that time. I get it. Okay. That's why a man must keep that up. Particularly on the emotional side of things. If he starts like that, he needs to keep it up. If you can't keep it up, if he's going to start to do sirigun and be asking you, you know, I do this for you, you know, I do this for you, everything will bafuka, it will end. It's the same way it ended like this. Okay, why? Because emotions no be your mate. Eventually, something has to give. She said, was that even what I wanted? No. But Oga said, he's a public figure. People so he has to do it big. The white wedding. The wedding happened and the wedding day passed. Now see us see marriage. Now see us see marriage. He started showing up as his real self in full. No, all of that was his real self. Okay, he was excited. He didn't know any better. Right? He didn't know any better. He thought his money can buy happiness. Okay, that was his full self too. You just see finish, don't enter you now too, and you're seeing the full picture. And you're saying this, you know. See, the point I'm making here is this. I think it's full cap when people say people pretend. People pretend, they show their real self. No, you're a liar.
Stop the cap.
You're a liar. They show their real self.
Why the fuck you lying?
From the beginning. No, it's just you had unrealistic expectations. You think what they were is what they should be at 40 and what they should be at 50 and what they should be. No, there's no such thing. It doesn't exist. Change is inevitable. It's constant. You can call it evolution, devolution, a change. They pretended. But you need to understand this. It goes back to your expectations of human beings. Remember the second reasons why your relationships are failing? Because you think men are supposed to be God.
Not be juju be that.
People change. They evolve over time. Including you. The full self showed up. No, your full sight came up. You can now see fully. You weren't seeing before. Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
It's the finger pointing that's destroying these relationships. The finger pointing. Excessive finger pointing. That is what's destroying these relationships. You need to be clear about that. He rushed the wedding because he's spending on her ABD. She's not giving him kwekus. Yeah. So I don't know what. He said he wanted kwekus that bad. Is it that bad on those private jets behind those stages? You can't get small kwekus at the hotel, Transcorp, Hilton Hotel. I see, there's a part of this that I probably want to believe. He's a winner's chapel. He wanted to do the right thing. So let's find a virgin. right? All of this comes down to lack of skills. He lacked game, and it's obvious because there's no man with game that jump on the internet and start dragging people. It doesn't exist. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, anyway, let's continue here. She's telling a whole lot. The wedding happened and the wedding day passed. Now see her like, okay, all right. So he will be traveling and asked me not to put on Jen. Not to go anywhere. Don't do this. Don't do that. He literally used the wedding to gather money for himself. He wanted massive support and he got it. What I expected from him as a wife was, baby, see what we got to. Wait till we go use them do. You two, your expectation is weird. Now, there's somebody here that just read there and said, she's a gold digger. Baby, see what we got. Wait till we go use them do. What? It wouldn't be a bad idea, but I don't know. It sounds like that's what she's. When you bring that up right now, it starts to look like that's what you were focused on. The money? Okay. Or see what I want to use them do. I don't think that's supposed to be anything. So even when he failed to do any of those, I overlooked. Okay, she says she overlooked. Not really, because she's talking about it now. Right? I overlooked, but let's talk about it now. I overlooked the 1.2 million naira phone, but let's talk about it now. You see, they're both liars, right? Okay, let's continue. We started having issues from November. I would tell him I'm going to the salon. When I get there, he would text me to not come back. The first time this happened, I thought it was a joke. Yet I hurriedly went back home because I was already living in fear. When your woman lives in fear, when you operate in fear, remember Anthony O'Neill, right? He said, I will be fearful. Like, even if you're right, okay? Even if you have a real reason to live in fear, right? The result of it is not good. Okay, we're not talking about the fear that motivates you to want to do better and make more money. No, we're not talking about that. Because lately I've been noticing people bring that in.
You think say they're wise?
Into the conversation. No. If you're moving in a way that you're moving from a place of fear, or your move is making the other place operate from a place of fear, it's only a matter of time before they gain courage. It's 2023. They will leave you. Remember what Pastor Kingsley said. It's not functional. The functionality is off. It will go wrong. You have to love in a way that the other person feels free. And if you're the one feeling fear, and let's say there's a disconnect. Somebody said, oh yeah, but it's just them that's having the fear. I didn't put fear in our mind. Well, if you feel fear, let them go. If somebody is expressing that they have fear, you need to pay attention. They won't last. The harder you go, the harder you're going to fall. Why would you want to extend it if they're already operating in fear? It doesn't make any sense. Why? Because it's duty and responsibility. That's stupid. There's no longer duty and responsibility functionality. You need to fix that issue before you move forward. So she's living in fear. What do you expect? She said, I got home and the gate man refused to open gate for me. Say, Oga say, make he no open gate. Ladies, you get to your own house. You're married to a person and the gate man is not opening the door for you. Is this a compliment? What does this look like? What would be the thoughts that will go through your mind in that situation? Now, even if you know that you were quite offensive before you left the house, which is not right. They're right. You're not right. Right? But it is what it is. You have two people collaborating for a lifetime. They will rub each other off the wrong way sometimes. Right? What would you do if that was you? I called him on phone. He said I should go back to where I am coming from. And there's a screenshot of the conversations here. I'm stepping out to where? Salon. She has receipts. Do you think you can keep better receipts than women? No, I'm asking. Gentlemen, you think you can keep better receipts than some of you can, I guess.
Oh, beauty.
Do you think you can get better receipts than she has receipts? Let me show you. She has receipts. Look at this. Look at this. Check this out. She has receipts. Screenshots. Screenshots. It says, I'm stepping out to where? Salon. Why don't you tell me this morning before I was leaving? You You go nowhere. Wait, men can't tell their wife you go nowhere anymore. Why do you want to tell your wife that? Why do you want to wait until it gets a... Why would you even be in a space where you have to say you go nowhere to your wife? At that point, the issue is not going nowhere. Your issues are deeper. She will go somewhere. Oh, wait, so she wants to go anywhere? No, that's not what I'm saying. Listen, the fact that you don't get what I am saying right now.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
All right.
I don't have any evidence. So.
We go explain because no evidence.
I don't have any evidence. I'm done. I don't have any evidence at this point. She wants to be included. Yeah, my guy did the math and it's not matching. He spent way too much on that 5G quickos. I better call you now. Where did you go? I was calling you now, but I've been. Listen, I think this is clear to us. I think we're getting a clearer picture of what happened here while we're both believing both of them. Because all they have to do is open their mouth and we'll believe them. That's all they have to do. I was outside the gate frustrated and ashamed. I called his dad and reported him. His father called me back to tell me that Israel is insulting him. The father complained back to me. Because it's the money, it's the Oluomo of the family. Of course he will insult his father. Right? He's the one that's roaming around with the Oga, Davido. Undefeated. You could just predict their behavior. The father complained back to me. I asked my cab to start driving me around while I was calling him to ask gate man to open the gate. After the plenty calls from his dad, so imagine you're fearful for your life, the cab is driving you around, right? After the plenty calls from his dad and me, he finally instructed the gate man to open the gate. I took the walk of shame back into the house. When he got back home that day, I was so hurt. I could not take anything till the next day. I told him calmly that... No, you didn't tell him calmly. Stop the cap. Whenever somebody tell me, I told me calmly.
Stop the cap.
No, you didn't tell him calmly. Stop the cap. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. The fact that you feel the need to say me that, yeah, right. Told him calmly. Anyway. Let me see. I'm trying to find where I stopped now. I could not say anything today. I told him calmly that no matter issue where we get, make outside no. Well, that's at this point common sense, but clearly it's not good enough for some people because when they get caught up in their emotions, all that flies out the window. That even if I did something wrong, come back inside and correct me. I explained how hurt and how embarrassing it was. He didn't say anything but apologized after some days. No one aside the people on the street and neighbors knew about this. I didn't know it was going to happen again and again. Say, why are we believing her? Listen, he said pure lies. I believe him too. How's that? Right? I believe him too. It is what it is. But it's believable. I believe her. How about that? Okay. Bite me. I believe her. Let's keep going. And again. But both the church and families got involved to resolve issues. Regularly, family kept saying, oh, you shouldn't be quiet on things like this. Always call us. Always talk to us. At some point, it stopped me from visiting my parents or my siblings from visiting. It's another receipts down here. There's receipts. Okay, what's our handle again? Maybe I can find a clear version of this receipts. That's Sheila Courage. Let's see if we can find it. Sheila Urukonyibo. Let's see if we can find it. We can find clearer version because I can't. My eyes is straining quite a bit. Wait, Sheila is a digital creator now. Host, influencer, speaker, lifestyle, fashion, beauty, hair, mental health advocate. She should just put virgin there too. Well, she's no longer a virgin. Israel, don't take this girl's virginity. Hey yo, Well, I can't find the post anymore. I can't find it anymore. She's now verified. She's an influencer. She's taking screenshots. Oh my God. Israel don't upgrade this girl though. Israel is like, Molu Datile is no longer mine. Israel. Imagine if you could keep this girl to live a baby girl lifestyle. Imagine if you keep it and she can do a baby girl lifestyle and you could literally say, that's mine, she's mine. You could show up, cameo appearance every 6 months. Hello, influencer over here, this is the husband. And you can go inside again for another. Imagine that. It's too late, bro, because this girl will never trust you again. She's now a baby girl slave mama. Hey, see life. Oh, Israel, so sorry, Israel. This is too bad. She is doing baby girl lifestyle now. It's too late. It's too late. This is why I don't support virgin marriage at all. Man must choose before wedding. It's not about the virginity. The virginity has value for the people who do it the proper way, but that's not the prerequisite for a good wife. That's all. It's just not. Okay. Maybe in 1957. Okay. Maybe. But these days, a lot of the men asking for virginity, they never even see kwekus properly. Like his full day see kwekus, like observe and take time and say explore. They're asking for virginity. It's like they will deceive you. They will deceive you. I'm a virgin. Shout out to Tenny. Brola, no, they boss my guy Bubbles now. He said it's calmly, Joe. No, it wasn't him that said it. She was her. I was calling her car. It was her that said I said it calmly. I said calmly with her. This is Jack calmly. Even if it's a virgin marry, you suppose get sense. Marrying a virgin has nothing to do with controlling behavior. Exactly. They're not relevant. They're not relevant. If she was walking, hey Adebusla, what's going on? If she was walking on eggshells, then she could have told him calmly. Yeah, but it's not calmly. You can. The idea is not necessarily the tone of the voice or the texture of the voice, right? It's that we can read through you even if you're infuriated, right? So let me come and tell you calmly, like, let's stop the cap. Calmly, busy about. Yeah. I'm a virgin. May God help us all. Only God would be able to. These days they tell you that is it Hymen? Hymen don't break. Long time when they were riding bicycle, and you are there looking for virgin because you are focused on. Let's look. No, Hymen don't break. We don't see blood for shit anymore. What happened to the blood? You're focused on the wrong thing. It's no wonder why you will continue to collect.
You will end up in McDonald's.
Yeah, this girl is a babe now. Aje. Oh, no wonder Israel is going mad. Like, I did this. She's even wearing Fendi. Is that Fendi? Staycation. Somebody will look at this and this girl is a gold digger. She knew what she was doing all along. No, that's the same problem. You don't know how to discern. This girl is just another girl trying to be another girl. Okay, that doesn't mean she didn't try to do the right thing before. Okay, the same issue. The same reason why you fell for virginity fake. The same thing is what you're doing when you look at this picture and say she must be a baby slave girl. She was just looking to rob all along. No, you have to be able to read between the lines of what they're saying here. Okay, and you have to be able to read between the lines and be able to say, you know what? Nah, they're both capping big time. Okay, they're two incompetent people that should not be touching marriage ever. At least not now. Not now. At least, okay. At least not now. Anyway, proceeding to the wedding, there was huge turnout. Okay, we already talked that, right? The wedding happened and the wedding day passed. Now I see us. Okay, we already covered that. Okay, so she has receipts. All the receipts. I couldn't find the receipts. So now she continues, as bad as that went, I still shoved it aside. My sister had to leave my house late at night, and I was left in the house with his sister who was staying with us at the time before he finally chased her out on another occasion. Yeah, you're usually not the only one collecting woto from this kind of person. Their sibling will receive, their father will collect woto. Listen, I keep telling you, when people have bad behavior, it's not necessarily about you. So you need to be careful when you take it too personally. You can command, you can ask for, you can say, I demand certain types of respect, but just keep at the back of your mind small that this person is them, it's not really about you, so that you can save yourself the headache of thinking, because when you think something is about you, you build resentment, right? Oftentimes it's not, it's about them. If you just wait long enough, you will see them do it to somebody else. So he did it to sister, I did it to father, right? There's something consistent here, right? Why would she need to lie that he did it to his own sister? If she really needs to lie, she just like, it's only me that he did it to, right? That's all she would say. Anyway. So he chased his sister out on another occasion, finally chased her out on another occasion, locked me out, and she opened the door for me at the instruction of the dad. I still didn't sleep in the house that night because he kept on threatening both me and the sister. I went to my parents' house. My parents brought me back that since he's not around, I can stay at least but I was scared. I ran. At this point, I was getting depressed. Everybody's complaining of depression now. Israel too was depressed. I believe them. Okay. I was literally living in fear. Another time in January, I was to attend one of my close friends' wedding. He knows how close I was to this person. And the very day she told me of our wedding, he knew how excited I was. He knew when I got Ashebi. The day of the wedding reached, I woke up very early, served him, and did all I had to that morning. When I was ready to leave the house, I met him to tell him I'm going to my friend's house. They need me for assistance and all. It was the trad, I guess. It started with what if I say make you no go? What if I say make you no go? As your husband, what if I say you can't go? I replied with, why you go say make I no go? He said, so you mean I don't have rights to tell you to say make you no go? Exactly, I knew that's what was going. Ask your husband. Right? Ask your husband. I can't tell you make no go. Let me test my power here. I've been listening to Andrew Tate, and I want to test my power. I want to be a man. Let's see if she will respect me. Well, it's like you're testing yourself. You already know you're going to fail, but let me just drag myself for no reason and drag my wife along the line too. Why would you do that to yourself, right? So even if she chose to stay, can you imagine the product of a person you're gonna get? Can you imagine that? Is that the person you want? The person you forced them to stay, you manipulated them, you control, like you waited to the last minute. He said, you mean I don't have the right to tell you, say make you no go? I say you get to, but why you go say make I no go? All that makes sense. You will at least give me a reason. Me go come, no excuse to give, if at all. But just saying I shouldn't go for something, you know how I these are Benin people for real. So something for something you know how I've been planning for months without any reason is unfair. He said, oh yeah, don't go. Oh yeah, don't go, okay? So because he and nobody made sorry. Like, you know me, don't go. She won't say that. She's respectful. Remember, she was talking calmly, right? But in her mind, she's like,
Not be juju be that.
so make her no go. But I bet I see you. I'll come to you in a second. He said, oh yeah, don't go. I asked why. He said, no reason. But if you come out for this house, no come back again. All right. So that's a man that couldn't express his feeling before, long time. I've been there. We've all been there. You wanted to say something. You didn't want to hurt her feelings. You waited long enough. At one point, you're like, but I'm a man now. Let me exercise it. And then you collect. Right? How? Because, no, but I have a wife that actually stayed. You're a liar. She stayed and showed you shaggy. I just stood for some minutes looking at him, then I left to another room. I was so pained. So she actually waited. But didn't know what to do, and even say at this point, this man was saying all sorts of hurtful things to me unprovoked, saying I can never amount to anything. Yeah. That the only thing about me, I say I be virgin. Over his dead body, will he start any business for me? Over his dead body, this and that. At this point, I was just in tears. When he walked out of the room, I quickly locked the door. He raised his voice higher, was talking and hitting the door. He kept on talking on for an hour. I'm not exaggerating. I had my first ever panic attack that day. I believe that. The moment I heard him walk away, I ran out of the house. He started calling and texting me that as I've gone, I shouldn't come back. I took it that whatever triggered him to be that pained that morning, knowing I did nothing to him, he go, don't calm down. I came back to the house. The gate wasn't locked. I was happy only for me to see that the gate to our flat was locked. I called him that I was back. He finally came back and told me to leave. This time, no gate man. It was him by himself. I didn't go for the wedding. I wasn't fit anymore. I told him, if you're sending me out of the house, open door, make I carry my things. He refused that he would call me back another day to pack all my things out of his house. He called brands I was working with and threatened them not to do anything with me again. Sound like P. Diddy. Some of them gave in out of fear. And even when I was asked what was happening, I couldn't say. The day he finally asked me to come and carry my things, he locked me inside the house, and that was the first time he hit me. That is an allegation. That is a heavy allegation, right? So that's why he was saying that I've never hit a woman before. Okay, that's the first time he hit me, when I was struggling to go outside. Okay, so a lot of people will be struggling and tossing back and forth with people, and they will get hit in the face and they will say they hit them. Baba, no evidence. You go shalaye tired though. That's why you should never be in that space with a woman in the first place. Okay. I had to run to the kitchen and hold a knife. Jesus. To defend myself until police got involved. I ended up hurt. Started battling with chest pain, as that's the area I was hit. And a scene was created in the neighborhood. We were separated for a month after this incident. During this period, he accused my father of forcing him to marry me. He said my mom's place doesn't last in marriage. My mom has been married to my dad for 23 years now and counting. No previous marriage. He literally made issues with everyone until he made a U-turn and started begging. Yeah, they tend to kind of beg back and forth too. After a lot of back and forth, I didn't read it before, I promise, okay? After a lot of back and forth, we reconciled and went back to the house. We talked things out and literally begged that I don't want people to gather for our matter again. Every day, wahala, where we need gathering. A lot of people were not in support of the marriage. That was what I used to beg him to not prove everyone right. Yeah, I've seen that story before. That he's literally doing all that was said and predicted of him. I started a new business. I just want to finish reading it so I can talk to Brother Ben. I started a new business that he didn't support at all, not financially or otherwise, and it was something I discussed with him before I had the class. And when I was finally ready to start, he wasn't willing to assist. I didn't want to wait or make an issue out of it if I started with what I had. When a woman starts to do this around, you already lost them. You lost them long time ago, right? What's long time ago? Well, at least half of the last a year and change that they've been together, right? From this point, I started talking to him about getting a land. Inside marriage, I got to understand so many things and started speaking on it. I'm not a girlfriend at this point, so I'm seeking for growth on all ends. bringing us suggestions on things he could do with his influence. We all know that both entertainment and the media at large isn't sustainable, especially when you are not the craft. It's from one excuse to another, and I'm wondering, you don't spend money on me. He has complained severally that I don't ask for anything. I'm like, so what are you using money for? When you know day, I understand. But when you day, what do you spend on? I can't see anything, and we can't continue like this. I sincerely wasn't comfortable with him not doing anything substantial. It makes sense. Just because it's Davido'S age doesn't mean he always has money. Okay? Peddling on all other issues that I was gradually adjusting to, at every slight opportunity, this man goes all out to insult my mom for no reason. Offense, Nase Amari, do you really believe it's the first time he will insult his mother just because he's our boss right now? No, it's not the first time. It's not the first time. This man started accusing me of taking pills to not get pregnant. Someone cannot pee. The first time he brought it up, we talked about it. I assured him I wasn't. Oh, taking pills, okay, to not get pregnant. I was like, pissed, Jesus Christ. Okay, that I have no single reason to express how unhappy I was about the accusation in the best way possible. Okay, this is the best way thing again, the calm way. They were arguing. It's not calm. They were arguing. Very toxic arguments, okay? That's how I nearly turned lab rat, doing series of tests to prove I'm okay, just to satisfy him. Nobody hear him. He met my mom to tell her I'm taking pills. Met my dad and said same thing. He wasn't sure of himself. When a man is not sure of himself, the results are going to be terrible, you know. I was having a shoot on the said day, and he kept on texting, insulting me and saying all manner. When he finally aired out he wasn't comfortable with influencing, I should get an office job. Of course it's not comfortable. I was working at an FM already. He said a job, blah blah. I said, okay, if you want me to stop influencing, set up business for me. I'll go stop him. You made me doing it. No me say I know if he stop him. If I get another thing to focus on. He turned it to a joke and say, no, influencer continue, carry go, nah, no wala. I knew obviously this was to avoid establishing anything, but I'm like, okay, whenever you want me to bring out money, make I start business. He organized a meeting with my parents and myself to still bring up the pills matter. I was upset because we talked about it as husband and wife, but involving my parents on the thing like this, I felt was totally unnecessary. My parents stepped in and said, since it's an issue of concern, let's run tests. If it's a health challenge, we know what to do. If it's spiritual challenge, there's nothing God cannot do. That was when I opened up that I've been doing tests already. They advised we both to do tests, as the challenge can be from anywhere. And this is the part that he said, pure lies. Do you truly believe these are all pure lies? I don't think so. All right. So then she now said, if I go to the hospital just to drop blood sample without him, he will come to my office, pick me up and insult me to and fro. Results were out and my results came out okay. I only had a high level. Something that generates milk, I think. But the doctor said that was okay and gave supplements to be taken. His was out after he made a whole show and dragged doing the test and messed up the first result, and all till I insisted that I must be at the hospital with him when he's taking it. I had a panic attack due to shock of something he was telling me. I collapsed helplessly on the floor, and this man couldn't even lift me from the floor. He was calling my parents and left me to go and buy fuel. My mom was the one that carried me from the floor and cared for me till I felt better. He left me. We quarreled all the way back home. At some point, I broke down in tears. When we got home, I left him and went to go and apologize to my parents on his behalf for the insult and unwarranted disrespect. Then I returned home. He stopped talking to me, wasn't talking to my parents, would travel and not tell me. This became more like a norm. I found out about his activities through his status. Not to talk about how he cares not about the expenses of the house. He would only give when he needs to show off. My decision was an accumulated one, as usual. Abusing me is one thing, but extending it to my parents is a whole different thing entirely. For my own sanity, I left the house. In my head, as of then, is let's reset again as we've been doing. But the extent this man went, I cannot forgive myself to live in such environment. I cannot be with someone that speaks love but shows wickedness in every way possible. See, they're both calling each other wicked, right? Now, who I go ask? I'm calling my friend a certified prostitute. Even if she's not my friend, calling anyone that's a very low. But then, you missed the word, verified prostitute. Ginika. But then, what else can be thrown at a woman? I pray God blesses us with friends, but that can stand with us both spiritually and otherwise in times of need. God bless you, Ginika, and I'm sorry you're entangled in this mess. Now, here we are, and I repeat, I'm not going to throw a pity party. This man is cooking a narrative to gain sympathy, serving lies. This is all coming from a place of strength. Shalom. All right, there you have it. And I guess Davido wanted to chime in. Davido said something to the effect of speak when necessary. The words carry more value than. Papa, what are you talking about? All right, so she continues here. She says, I sincerely apologize to any or everyone that my decision on how to go about this doesn't sit well with. This apology is for people I respect, my parents, topping the list, and every other person. Now, to all of you that are being mad in my DMs, just get lost and stay away from what you know nothing about. Everybody don't collect. Everybody don't collect. Listen, let me see here. I don't want to leave my brother behind the scenes much longer. Brother Ben, how far? How you doing?
Oh, Mr. Ola, go ahead. I did hear they enjoy you. You know where I go there by this time now.
Okay. Make a finish him. Okay.
No, I love my brother.
All right. So if anything happens to me and any member of my family, Israel should be held responsible. Going to my mom's shop to beat her up. You won't kill Peking, kill Mama join. This isn't even something to be quiet about at this point. Nigerian police forces. It's messy. I was going to post this just yesterday. I held back because aside involving the police, I reached out to someone I believe could reach him and could act on it. I said make a note forward so I don't get the, oh, you shouldn't have brought it online, yada yada yada. This man carried boys to harass my mom at her shop. You see, this is lack of self-respect. This is how men with no self-respect, this is how they move. Okay? I'm not here to run your whole story of what went down and what has been going on. The only thing Israel can brag about and still brags about is the online publicity he has given me that is undisputed. Okay, so she acknowledged it. She's now a slave mama on the internet. A lot of you only got to know me during the wedding. Have I always been in the social media space though? Yes. I've been a 2 times beauty queen and had brands I was working with already. Was my mother even married to anybody before my dad? No. Did anybody deceive Israel? No. Instead, it's the man that deceived the whole family, especially my father who took a genuine likeness to him. My papa no be Otedola, but we are comfortable enough for him to be training 2 of my siblings in renowned private universities, running businesses and paying every bill that needs attention without begging. Must I add that I'm from a well-respected family, and this man is hell-bent on painting my family what it's not. Adams, Oshiomhole, and my dad are first cousins, for crying out. Oh, they're birds of the same feather. We don't need to know all that. Okay, let's continue. So, me and my family are cooking for a poverty alleviation plan, and even if it cannot be Israel. This man saw me for the first time while I was on outreach, which beforehand I never knew of his online presence. He asked for my number, which I refused to give, but took it instead and never called him, only dropped it off at the follow-up unit. After which I traveled that very day and wasn't back till the next week, and this man, they find me up and down until he got to my dad. He carried all kind of certificates from church claiming to be born again. That is different. Oh, he's blah blah. My father fell for it because he's our church member. And he has done his and that. That every day he told my father that he wanted to marry me. In fact, even before he met my dad, he told the person that helped him get to my father that he wants to marry me. Both the phone and the generator he collected from my mom yesterday was immediately replaced by my dad. Mr. Nice Guys! Mr. Nice Guys, I told you, you gotta watch for those people. They collect everything back.
Sorry, oh.
They collect everything back. Why are you being biased? You believe this story? Yes, I do. Sorry. Bite me. Everything Israel ever did, he was never asked or coerced. He just always thinks doing all these little things will cover up his demonic attitude. You can drag me to the mud and back, make her for lock up, but you don't get to do that with my family. You don't. Clearly, you don't value yours, but you know how much I value mine, and in extension, how I value your own family too, as I've taken them as mine. And anybody way they do, you can handle this better. When you reach your turn, do it as you like. When you reach your turn. When your parents, especially your mom, is being constantly abused by your supposed husband, when you're being locked out of your own matrimonial home for no reason, when you're physically and emotionally abused, when you're constantly threatened, when your mental health is on zero, when you have series of panic attacks, when you're accused of taking pills to not get pregnant, when you're deprived of doing anything, when you marry a man that gives no account of how the money realized from your wedding was spent, or how much it be at all. You see what I use and do. When you marry a man that all you want for is the best, but if he is the weapon fashioned against you, when you marry a man that all you want for is the best, but he's the weapon fashioned against you, when you marry a man that doesn't want to be productive, and when you try to push and encourage him, you're controlling him, and in them, they control Edo man. When you experience your own, do as you like. Lastly, I think she's done lastly about 50 times now. Lastly, I never had an issue with him serving his boss. As a wife, I wholly told my husband to get something doing, get a business running, start building a legacy, gave him countless ideas on things he could possibly do. I just wanted him to have something going on for himself, which his family fully supports, as it concerns. It's a concern to everyone. And then Pokoli said, Pokoli did answer say, they know they put mouth for husband and wife matter, but how we go do this one now? Wedding way I attend with joy, see how una pay me back. Really audacious. But I bet make me yajari. Come forward.
Mr. Ola, you shouldn't have brought that Pokoli comment into this.
You have to finish with laughter now. I've been laughing for since though.
Now you don't mess me up now with that Pokoli on, because even me, I want to collect my data that I use in monitoring that wedding online.
Oh, you were monitoring it? I don't follow him like that. I know it was trendy at the time. Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy, Mr. Ola. Basically, this matter, both Israel and the wife, they are all childish, and I think, let me just say, they are just cashing cruise. They don't even have a clue what marriage is all about. It's just my sincere take. I've read the whole thing, although I didn't go deep like you did, because once I see some of these silly posts online, I will just zone out.
You could just laugh and just zone out.
Yeah.
This is content too. At least I go come and read them here. Yeah,
telling you, my
you're
brother.
right. I do zone out too. I do zone out. I'm like, this is for the Prestige family. Let me save. We will come back to this one. Yeah.
So I don't even know where to start from. But basically, let me just say one or two things regarding Israel.
Right.
And I'm sorry for any of my Edo people that might be watching this. I just have to be frank with you guys. I have a lot of Edo friends, both way back in Nigeria and even here in United States. And I can say without favor, of course, you know, they always support my gender, but the level where they support my gender reach. I can say everything the girl said about Israel character,
Right.
I think she's right up to 80%, because that is a typical character of Edo men.
Really?
Yes, I'm sorry to say. And that's why I put that up front first. It's not like maybe it's generic to Edo people alone. No. It's the same.
But they have it.
Yes, but you can tell that this is like a trend among them when it comes to behaviorally. A lot of Edo guys that I know, they behave like that. You know, I don't want to call it controlling. It's the man in them. It's just like we Yorubas. We have limits too. We have some things we don't tolerate. Forget civilization, forget Western culture. We, the Yoruba guys, we still have some things that no matter how educated we are, don't just go there.
So the Ondo people have Agidi, but the Agiti people will finish you with English. The Abeokuta people, I'm not sure what their own stereotype is, but I hear you, bro.
Exactly. So what Israel wife is describing as far as their wedding, his behavior after the wedding and everything, she is, to me, 80% correct. Okay? And like I said, it's because I know a lot of Edo people do behave like that with their woman. Edo men are controlling. And I'm not saying this with disrespect. I'm saying it like, as a man, we are all controlling. Nigerian men generally. Now, when we come to this Western world, and then civilization and all that, and then depending on the kind of woman that you marry, and individual differences in terms of the man that we turn out to become. Some of us just feel like, okay, you know what? I think this controlling thing is a thing of the past. We can actually have better way of dealing with our wife than telling her, do this, do that, do that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But some people are stuck in that ancient mindset.
They can't see past it. Yes.
Yeah, they can't see past it. So I'm not blaming them. I'm not saying this in a negative way, but Edo men are controlling. And they have the right to be. If you have to look at how their tradition works, the role of women and the role of men. A lot of Edo men, just like many of we Nigerian men, we believe that we have to take care of our wife. We have to go out there, hustle, make money, take care of the wife, and then the wife should do as we said, which is what used to be obtainable in Nigeria. So in this their case, I'm just saying this just to buttress the fact that I'm not disputing a lot of the things the girl said.
Right.
Because by the time I come to defend him now, I know my sister Chinye is watching, and probably Sister Natu and all the Prestige family.
You just collect.
before now spank my butt. Make I just say it up front now. So I do believe what the girl is saying. Now, regarding how they met and everything, I think if I still have to go by what I understand as far as Edo men and women is concerned, Israel simply follow the popular path of let me marry fine girl. I'm in the league now I'm living the jet life with Davido and the rest of the big boys.
Right.
So let me look for a very beautiful girl to marry. Yeah, she has to be like, when they see my wife, everybody go bow. You know, that was it. Before
Especially a virgin.
Then too, if you are in that circle, in fact, I don't know if you have ever mixed up with guys in the music world and the movie industry.
No,
their
underground.
lifestyle-
Maybe my underground. Yeah, underground.
Bro, their lifestyle is nothing to write home about. That's why I do laugh when I see people who examine them from on the screen, who kind of dream for them because they see them on the screen and they laugh. I've been into production for a long time now. I've worked in hotel and I've have one or two things in the music industry. I don't sing or something, but I have friends, DJs who play for all these guys. And if you see the life they live, bro, if a singer come to ask for your daughter hands in marriage, brola, you go say no, say you don't want. If you have seen what we know about them,
Right.
are you feeling me now?
Right.
So,
the same thing we are talking about, this whole Puff Daddy thing now. Same thing.
and there is something about these guys in the entertainment industry. They don't want to marry the kind of girl they mess with in the industry.
Yes, now. So they'll be looking for innocent virgin.
Exactly. So when it is time for them to get married, they simply look around and start searching for that clean babe. The babe when they believe that this girl don't have the street experience. She don't do all this, no crack.
She will
no
stay at
weed,
home.
No drink. She's a calm girl. That's who they are looking for. Now, that's
Terrible.
what's happening to Israel. Israel, you can read now. The guy went all the way looking for a virgin. Who they look for virgin? Who virgin help?
Can you imagine? Really? Oh, what virgin? Oh Lord, it was so obvious. That's what he started his talking points with. Now
That's crazy. So now because he hears said the guy in a virgin, he'd be like, oh, because me, I don't understand it. And I'm gonna say right here, Brola,
right?
as me I did like this. Even if I have to marry again, I know they do virgin. You know go work.
You know what virgin?
I go break that.
Why
virgin
now? Why?
before we even
Why?
go marry.
Why you don't want virgin?
I don't want to. Which virgin? Any virgin that is older than 20 years old is a zero as far as I'm concerned.
Ah, it's good. You're running like Oloriro.
Most of them, Misola.
Loriro.
Any virgin older than 20 years old, no, don't just count me out. I ain't doing it. So coming to this guy now, he went to look for a virgin and then spend all this money, according to him, polishing the girl, doing everything. And
Right.
this girl, if we have to go by what she said so far, Mr. Ola, this girl is a good digger. She knew what, immediately she saw Israel coming, knowing that Israel has close connection with Davido, the girl already know what she wants. Now, I am not saying she's a bad girl, honestly speaking, because my thing has always been that how a woman turns out after marriage largely depends on how the man treats her. That has always been like my own mindset.
Okay.
Because once you're married to a girl,
Right.
how you treat her, how you talk to her, how you present yourself, how you deal with her in so many things determines who she becomes in that marriage.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying maybe the guy set out to be a bad girl or something. I don't even see her as a bad girl yet because I just see two opportunists jam each other.
Right.
Opportunists jam opportunists.
It seems promising. It's promising.
So I believe, not to waste your time, my brother. I believe
No, you're good, bro. You're good.
Israel wanted a Christian, calm, religious girl that he's going to marry, and because that 30 BG money is flowing, he believed the guy is supposed to be a stay-at-home wife, be a responsible wife. I want to show to the rest of the guy in the industry that he actually married a decent woman and all that. But here you are, a woman you want to keep and expect her to behave like this Christian decent wife. You yourself on impulse you are telling her that, what if I ask you not to go? Because I was listening to you when you were reading that part when she said maybe she wanted to go and visit somebody, and Israel just said, what if I ask you not to go? And that little thing turns out to be a whole drama completely.
Yep, it was drama. The whole street, everybody was answering to it.
You see, so my thing is this: no matter how a man thinks he's taking care of a woman, no matter how you provide for a woman, the moment you start disrespecting her with your utterances, commanding her everything, one day her eye go tear.
Yes,
and
sir.
when I hear, you see the way Israel is ranting all over social media like a madman, and he can't believe it. Because
Yep.
definitely, when he met this guy played the innocent role for him.
Right.
The guy play him, say,
That's why he's saying, that's what they're both saying it. That's why he's saying she suddenly changed. She said it too. He suddenly changed, like, no, this is both of you deceive yourself.
They are just opportunists. That's what I see in right here. And then one other thing, one other mistake I think Israel made too, because
Right.
I'm not going to talk much on the girl. Like I said, how you treat a woman determine what you give her, and she go carry give you.
Yeah, women multiply. Women will multiply you, basically.
Make I tell you one quick joke, bro.
Tell me, I beg. Tell me.
my son was boxing me on Thanksgiving Day. The guy was like, "Daddy, wake up! It's Thanksgiving. You have to get up." I didn't get up. So at the point, this guy was pushing me on the bed. And my son is almost 8 years old. The punches are so hard. So without annoyance, when I get up, the guy ran upstairs. So I went to my wife in the kitchen and I'm like, "Babe, see what you cause now. I carry gentle boy give you. See what thing you produce give me. This
see.
boy they take blow, they wake me."
Ọmọ tó dáa ti yá ẹ̀ ni. Àmì ti bàbá ẹ̀ ni. Èyí tí ò dáa ti yá ẹ̀ ni. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So my brother, the thing is, what Israel gave to this guy is what the guy is dishing back to him. And coming back to finding all these girls in Nigeria,
Right.
I do tell guys, because I do connection on the side. People do reach out to me. "Oh, Ben, if you see man, or if you see girl," and then we'll talk.
Okay.
One of the things I tell guys is this: when you see a girl, by the time you met that girl, the girl is using, let's say, iPhone 13, which is about 750K as back in Nigeria.
Right.
The guy is living in a flat, and you check, she doesn't have a reasonable job. In fact, you can't match her income with the kind of life she's living. And now you step in that you want to marry her. Don't you see the red flag there already?
Yeah.
Is that not a red flag?
It is.
Now, the same thing goes to a man who finds a woman.
For you, in fact, I will even go further and say you are the red flag. If you can't see, you become the red flag. You know me, it's self. Yeah, you become the red flag now. If you can't see that far, So the thing is, it's just so crazy. It's like a lot of these guys, when they go to Nigeria to marry, for instance, they will see a girl who is probably a graduate, but she's out of job, although she's looking good. And then because they want to marry her, you start upgrading her. And guys will fail to realize this. You have to be very, very careful with that.
When you are upgrading a woman, you are simply moving her from the class you found her to a new class, a higher class.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm not making sense,
No, you're making sense. You're making sense.
You are the expert,
so you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for, you have to manage your expectations around that. So
Exactly.
so it won't be like, oh, it's a surprise. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't do anything for girls. In fact, that would be terrible. But you should manage your expectations around that situation, because you go from 60,000 naira phone to 860,000 within a year. When I just married. No, 1.2 million. Change it twice. 1.2 million naira phone. And like I said in the beginning, if you are going to come back and Sirigun later on, maybe you are the red flag yourself. Because honestly, it's like no wonder. Like how much have you been telling her, this is what I did for you. I did this for you. I did this for you. If that means you don't feel solid in that situation. You don't feel safe. Why are you staying in that situation?
Yeah, the whole thing is kind of messy. Now you upgraded the girl, and I'm not blaming the girl, to be candid. I don't blame the girl, and here is another reason why I don't blame the girl, Mr. Ola.
Okay.
This girl is a smart girl. I listened to when you were reading what she was saying about how she was advising her husband to do something tangible for his life, create a legacy, blah, 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 blah. You can tell she's smart. This girl see the opportunity that
he saw the opportunity. You are connected to Davido. We can build a life for ourselves. And now you're you start to move mad, and so and then you are controlling on top of all that. Could it last now?
That is it, Miss Sola. And the worst thing is that because of ego, Israel is not seeing the sense. I mean, the opportunity in what his wife was saying then. Israel is not saying it. I think his ego is probably telling him that, will you shut up? What do you know? How could you, me that I marry you now, you want to tell me how to live my life? What I should be doing?
What do you know?
I don't get it. This is where some of us are a little bit different. Because if I'm in his shoe, what I would do is ask the girl, babe,
Right.
okay, when you dey talk, say I create legacy now, how you want my agree? But okay, just tell me first. This is where I engage her in conversation. And before you know it, a girl like this will show him more than 4 opportunities that he can create around that Davido influence.
Yeah, because you know why? You know how that's actually even more true? As individuals, there's only so much you can see. Other people, I'm bossy, how much more your wife can see more than you can see. That's 2 heads is better than 1. That is not a negative thing in the grand scheme of things. But again, like you said, she's a very sharp girl. She's a smart girl. For her age, she seems like she's 20 or 21 or something. Right? That's a person that you can, quote unquote, safe word, groom. To actually become your special advisor.
Thank you.
You have access to all of these relationships. Everybody is going to keep looking at you as, that's probably clouding your judgment, as the Aide, as the hype man of Davido. But she can probably see that you are a hype man, good, clap for yourself, be slave. What about this? We can take advantage of it. And now you turn around, you come on the internet and come and tell us that she's calling you a slave. Do
you even know that hyping he's doing, he can actually create a gig out of it, doing it, and people will be paying him millions to hype that. People like hyping. Let me give you an example. If you go to that Freeze platform, a lot of guys that come to that Freeze platform, it's not because of the story that the Freeze is saying, it's because they want to give him gift, they want to give him star, so he can just hype them.
The hype, yeah. And there's a guy called, I think Special I forgot his name, something about, or Special, I guess his name. He's a hype man for Davido. He's Davido's cousins as well. One big guy with beards like that. He also he was actually in the industry before Davido, but he's Davido's cousin. And he's also he was hyping for D'banj during the heydays of D'banj, although he was dragging with somebody online recently with some business. All of these guys have side things they do. That's my point, because they have access. They have access to money, power, relationship, all this kind of stuff. So if that's what she was saying, I don't see the negative in that. She was, because she admitted to it.
He's just way. The guy just can't see beyond his nose. That's how I can put it. That's just his problem. Now, you see, when I read everything he said about his wife, the only takeaway I see there was when he kept saying, now she used me to become influencer. She used me to become popular, blah, blah, blah. You married to a smart girl. What else can that girl get out of you than being popular? And the guy she's leveraging that opportunity.
Imagine all of this happening right now. She would have been useless.
Brother, you deserve 1 bottle of Guinness. Right?
She would have been useless now. I mean, at least we can go to her page, seeing that she's doing her own slave mama thing. Small. Yeah.
Some of our guys know they smart. Wallah. If I get this kind of opportunity, and the guy even they sharp where she likes social media. So now to go begin they do couples go with her. I go tell her, babe, this channel where we don't monetize. Let's have one joint.
No man now.
They create the money. If you know one agreement, we share the money. Now their work will start.
If you don't share money, we go share the influence. One of the two. We go share something. So that's why I said any advice I give here or anything that seems like an advice, don't take it as religion, because there are exceptions. Like, for example, she came out and said something and I went to her page. If she didn't come out and say something, I wouldn't go to her page, right? And we can see that she's running some kind of business too, influencer, whatever. I can give that girl small $100. She will make noise about my platform.
Thank you.
Right? So now we know she's up to something. I just say be guided. Make sure you're doing all of that within controlled environment. If you're caught up in your feelings and you want to drag, like Israel is not getting anything out of this. Right?
No,
Outside of looking like a fool.
backfire. My brother, man of Prezi, you know now. That's why I like you. You always say it the way it is. The team backfire. That's just it, Baba.
Yeah.
He backfire. He thought, okay, I'm just gonna run this guy down, say everything. But it was just like what I was saying when I started. When I said, I'm not trying to disrespect my Edo people.
The Edo people.
This is more like a Edo thing. You see, a lot of Edo guys don't realize that life has moved on. The world has changed. The relationship, what?
You know, the thing is that, Brother Ben, our second viral moment on this platform was given to us by a fellow Edo brother. Can anybody put his name in the chat? Anybody can put his name in the chat. He's been dragging me at Daddy Free's platform, me and Auntie B since then. Right? He tried to control a narrative and he got dragged woto in these streets. So he's been trying to. So when you say that, I have experience that can make me also tag on to that generalization, right? But it's called stereotype. It's okay, you know. But like you said rightfully, as Nigerian men, we need to push back against ourselves in terms of controlling behavior. Okay, yes, yeah. APC Bishop. His name is APC Bishop. If you don't know who APC Bishop, he gave us our first viral moment.
I don't know him, but I think I heard about him.
A fellow Edo brother, trust me. So when it comes to this will be Israel will be maybe a circle who will try to control the narrative, jump into the internet and control narrative and realize that social media no be your mate. Don't do that. Yeah. You know, social media will drag you and the real truth will come out. You know, and now you go use your own mouth to tell us. That's the funny thing about it. You know,
everybody when they go analyze the whole situation now.
Yes, so. But we're learning from this, Jare, my brother. That's all it is. Yeah. Yep.
It's just crazy, man.
All right, so we look forward to having your session. Brother Ben is going to be hanging out with me as my guest on December 17th or 16th, one of the two. We will announce it when they get closer. So Brother Ben is going to be hanging out with me. So everybody look forward to that, you know.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Baba.
Yep. All right, bro. We'll talk soon.
All right, thank you.
And thanks for your help so far. See, you notice I stepped up, right, on Facebook?
Of course, I see that. Don't worry, they are coming. The soldiers will come.
We're working. All right, bro. Talk soon.
All right, brother.
All right, yeah. All right, that's my brother Ben. Shout out to him. Let me read a few chats before let's end it. We're gonna end this in the next few minutes. Hey, Shio Mama, my sister, how are you? How are you doing? So that's one of my biggest supporters here. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. Who virgin help? I bet no more virgin. He doesn't want a virgin. Adebusola, good to see you today. Always a pleasure. The exchange is balanced. Something has to give. However, the girl does not feel safe and secure in that marriage. Yeah, most women cannot handle that. That's too much, right? If a man will get sense, jam a sensible babe, you will excel. That's a fact, you know. At the end of the day, you know, two heads are better than one. But so we just need to learn how to nurture our relationships. When we're in a funk, it's very easy to tag on to the negatives, right? That's when the work is required of you. Like, sit down, identify all the positive things about this person, and then start from there. It doesn't mean you shouldn't address the bad stuff, but when you address it from a standpoint of identifying what is good about them first, you will do it in a more healthy way. You will be much more balanced, and you create a better balanced result. And that's gratitude. And you know what they say about anybody. That's just the way it works, right? If you feel abused at any level, just check out. Just back off of that situation and take some time off for yourself, because your feeling is valid, and we don't know how far you've gone with feeling that way. So slow down. It will benefit the other person too. When you slow down, you back off of that situation before you move forward. But if it's just tussle back and forth, you feel like it's funky, you feel like you could like something could be better, identify all the positives first, because there's a good chance that if you're a normal human being like the rest of us, your brain will continue to tag on to the negatives only. Okay, so just keep that at the back of your mind. Show Mama said, is a quote, I guess, "Don't tell me what to do syndrome is what many of our Nigerian men lack." Okay, I assume it's part of the game that is lacking in some of our men, according to my learning from Ola. Yes, shout out to you. It's game. It's game. Because if you have game, you understand that life is a moving target. So you adjust. You don't just hold on to like, I'm in control. You just lose you lose your mind, because you can't control human beings. It doesn't work. Okay. Shout out to you, Shea Mama. It takes a real man who knows his worth. Tokumbo, you have to pay for that name. It takes a real man who knows his worth to reason well with their wife. Insecure, people pleaser, low self-esteem men are so shallow-minded. Shout out to you, Tokumbo. You have to pay for sharing my name, okay? You have to pay for that. Thanks for stopping by. He came out to shame her and it backfired badly. At least here, because we can see through the BS, right? Yeah, so APC Bishop, my guy. Yes, so Tokumba again says, honestly, Shea Mama, our men needs more training about women. No one is in competition with them but themselves. It's a struggle. We're gonna get there. You know, I can gladly tell you that when we started this platform, I'm gonna refresh right now and tell you, okay, there's a lot of men behind the scenes that you just seen one of them, but Ben. But there are also many of them that support greatness, always stop by every now and then, and many that just leave comments every now and then on the show. We're working very hard to make sure that men are a learning game. I am happy to tell you that in this moment in time, our female, okay, 49%. Male 51%. I'm happy to tell you that. Now this is just in November, all right? Yeah, I think that's November data. Where we're coming from, we were coming from male 25%, female 75%. Okay, and I'm learning too. Okay, there's a certain level of empathy that men want me to apply when we're having this conversation to them. Okay, I don't want to go too far, okay, because I believe that strong men, competent men are built from pressure, so they will continue to collect.
Sorry.
But I can adjust small so they can receive the necessary message. Okay, I can adjust just small, you know. But to me, I'm actually looking at that for the first time. That's a good news. 49%. I like it to be 50-50 ideal, but I like it to just dance around that. I want everybody to learn, right? You know, but that goes to show you that we're going somewhere, okay? So men are coming around, they're learning, you know, and I'm getting messages behind the scenes as well. You know, so I want to say thank you to everyone who is sharing. If you're sharing the platform, you're helping us get the words out there. You're helping, you know, you're helping. We will all benefit from it. A society of angry men is not what we want. A society of incompetent men is not what we want, okay? Because I believe that everything has a downstream effect on women and children, right? So we need our men, and when the devil, whatever that is attacking the family, it attacks men. It doesn't attack men in the way it looks obvious, where it's like, oh, all these women are just giving us the wrong babies. No, it attacks men from a blind spot. All the men will start to operate from a very weak and fearful place, and basically the devil will take over. That's the way it works, right? So we have to be very, 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 very careful as we address some of these very sensitive issues. But as it stands, it remains the same, okay? There are three reasons why people's relationships suck these days. There are three reasons, okay? It's unmanaged expectations, unmanaged pride, and lack of game. That's it. No more. In a video yesterday that I released intentionally yesterday, I call it "You're a Narcissist." I said, what's the second one? I said, you think a man is supposed to be God. It's not, right? That's stupid. And then the third one is that you don't know shit. And the older you get, the more you learn about this whole thing called game, you find out that I really didn't know anything. More so, you don't know yourself until you find yourself in the middle of crisis, right? And that's why I said, don't put it on hold. Let's get in the game right now and start learning as we go. We're building the plane as we fly it. We're getting better. I'm getting better as I have these conversations, you know. So I want to say definitely thank you to everybody for stopping by today. Today is Saturday, the 25th of November. I'll be back again in due time. I'm dropping tons of videos. You shouldn't watch any of this video just one time. Watch it at least 2 or 3 times. I'll give you more than enough opportunities to watch them 1, 2, 3 times, because every time you listen to it, you learn something new. Don't take them as religion. Let it help you process. Give some pushbacks. Process it. Have your own insights. Come up with what works for you, right? But you're learning about how other people think, other people's perspectives, right? And that's how you get better in life, because at the end of the day, we're social beings, we're emotional beings. You don't live in a cave, all right? You have to interact with other people, so you might as well learn the game. It is a game. Life is a game, and the ones that win are the ones who learn how to play it, okay? It's not a joke, it's a game. It's 2 different things, okay? So you think life is a joke? No, it's not a joke. It's a game. You need to learn it, okay? And women, you too, you need game. You need game, okay? Because every man has something they care about. For as long as they have something they care about, that means you have power. If they stop caring about life altogether, you're right. At that point in time, we're probably going to catch them and lock them away for life. But if it's just me and you argue against each other, they have something they care about. Can you hear it? You can't? Okay, that could be one of the skills you need to learn. How to listen actively to your partner so that you can give. Because you should only go into a relationship to give. You go into a relationship to give. Yes, I know. Not give and take. No. Give. All right? All right? You go there to give. What about taking? No. Give to yourself. Go into the relationship and go and give. Okay? That's all I have for you on this particular episode. All right? I appreciate you. Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Beautiful girl.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.